Hey y'all, welcome to today's fishing trip. If you saw my last video, I was fishing shallow for channel cat using a cane pole and some stink bait that I make. At the end of the video, I asked anybody if they'd want to see a jug line fishing video. Well, to my surprise, I got quite a bit of response. A lot of comments saying, hey, yeah, we'd like to see one. So that's what we're going to do today. I've got two different kinds of jugs, and really they're not jugs. This is a piece of styrofoam. It's a cylinder shape like this. The line wraps around it, it kind of holds it really good. You can stick it in a bucket, so that's good, and it stays out of the way. I've had these things probably 20-something years. It's really interesting the way it works because it sits on the water like this right here, flat. You hook the line in this little deal here. It looks like it came out of an old trailer house window or something, you know what I mean? Right there. When a fish gets on it, it flips that thing over. So the hot pink side's up like this right here. They've got a little weight on them right here too also. So they're gonna sit on the bottom. They're not gonna just drift across the lake. I got 6 of these. And then I've got one like this right here that I found. It's hanging up in a tree or something like that. It's only got about 10 or 12 foot of line on it, so I'm gonna put it up shallower, see what happens. But I've only got one hook on it. I've got 2 hooks on these others like this right here. There's 2 of them. See, I don't know if you can see all the spider webs. I kind of knocked all the dirt dauber nests off of them. But I gotta get them marked up. I gotta tag them. Here in the state of Texas, you gotta have a tag on them. I think it's good for about 6 days, if I'm correct. So I gotta get them tagged, and then I gotta get some bait on them. We're gonna use on a lot of it. I got some old shad here that I caught last year and froze, so we're gonna try that shad too. I got my casting net right here. That's a whole nother experience trying to throw that thing, especially when you hadn't done it in a long time. So I'm gonna try to catch some perch or bluegills or something like that in this, or maybe some fresh shad, and see what happens. But I'm gonna get these few lines set out, and then I'm gonna go try to run and catch some live bait with that right there. Now let's see here. Get us a piece of bait. Cut these frozen shad up in pieces and stick them on these things and see if anything likes them. I don't know. Being they've been frozen all that long, I don't have any idea if they're gonna like them or not, but that's what we got. So, well, they sure are slimy. I may as well stick this one out first. It's right here handy. It's probably gonna drift a little bit because it ain't shallow enough right here for that little line. It don't have it about 8 foot. Maybe I need to go up by the bank. One thing I do remember about doing this last time, it was my wife and I, and we only had, like I say, about 6 of these things with 2 hooks on them. And man, it like to work us to death. As soon as we'd get some set out a little ways, before we could get finished baiting the others, those done flipped over and started getting fish on them. And we were using live brim. I think it was probably around the first week in June or something. Man, I tell you what, the channel cat was eating them bluegills up. We'll start out throwing them over here. This one, get it up somewhere shallow, see if a turtle won't eat it. I don't know, we'll just chunk it out there and see what happens. It didn't go to the bottom. Look, it's floating up like that. It's too deep. Well, that didn't work out right. I think it's supposed to be standing up when a fish gets on it, not when you chunk it out. Let's see if it's shallow enough here. Yeah. I think that's how that one's supposed to work. See, it just lays flat like that on the water, and when a fish gets on it, it'll stand up maybe. And that will be the shallowest one. It's probably about 6-8 feet. I'll get out here in the center and put those others. It's probably 12-15 feet right in here, and it gets out into 25 foot that way. Those others that I got, these here got plenty of line on them, so you can just unwind it off there and set it however deep you want it. If you can figure out how to get them unraveled. So we're gonna hook up some bait. This is probably a number or a 6/0, probably a 6/0 straight shank hook. And that's what we used to use on all the trout lines and jugs and stuff like that back then. Actually, on that little bitty hook right there, the last time I did this, we caught a 66 and 3/4 pound flathead on that little bitty hook. But had it not been on a jug, it probably would have been it out. Because it was on one of these floats though, it was swimming all around and I was able to grab a hold of it, you know, and if it pulled hard, I could let go and it would just swim around and wear itself out till we could go ahead and grab a hold of it, because otherwise it probably would have just bent that little hook out. Now I'm just going to stick these little pieces of bait on there and throw these things out, and I'm going to put 2 of them on these. I'll put a head piece and a body piece on each one of them. Maybe they'll bite good. Like I say, last time I did this, man, they bit so fast with those live brim that you couldn't even hardly get going very far. There'd be one on it. Now that I got it as deep as it's supposed to be, I'm just going to wrap this little deal here around this little plastic thing. Stick it right in that notch, and when it gets one, it ought to turn it over. And it'll just float like that right there. All right, well, we got them all scattered out here, all the way up through yonder. And I'm gonna run over and try to get some bait with this casting net and see how my skills are with that. We'll try this a few minutes. I don't know how it's gonna work out. A lot of times these bluegills will get up around this rock though, around this bridge. That didn't open good. Gonna have to have it bigger than that to catch anything. I can't get the thing to open. I got a bass, which I can't keep. It's good to see some small ones in this lake because they sure need it here. A pretty little fella, ain't he? He just hatched. Y'all, I've been throwing this cast net for over 30 minutes. And that's all I got so far. I don't believe he's big enough to work, do you? Dang. Well, y'all, I went through that casting net for an hour and caught one little old bitty bluegill. And now I'm back up here where my jug things are. One of them's turned over right here, but it ain't moving around very much. I see another one turned over up there, I think. And now y'all know why I got frozen shad. Because I can't catch any of those darn things. And when I do, they're going in the freezer. Let's see what's going on with this one. There's something, looks like a turtle or a gar shredded the bottom one here. See, turtles or something. We'll pack another piece of meat on there. All right. This one's got a fish on it, guys. Got a fish. What is it? This always excited me when I was a kid to kind of figure out, like when we would run trot lines, not knowing what was on them. Oh, let's see what's on this one. It's a little channel cat. Oh, Lee. He stole both the baits off of there. A little old bitty thing, got that thing all in his face. I want you to look at the mess that little rascal caused with my system here. Golly. Well, ain't nothing on this one. I'll run out of bait quick doing it like this. Well, y'all got them all baited back out again. Only one catfish, one little channel cat. That's a lot of bait and a lot of work for that little thing. I'm gonna let these, see if they get anything on them here for a little while longer, and then I think I'm gonna move up the lake. One of our jugs is turned over, maybe two of them. You know, I don't know why I call them jugs. They're not jugs. What in the world should we call these things? They just styrofoam. Seems like jug fishing has changed to whatever you can find to float line fishing instead of jugs. Hardly anybody uses jugs anymore. Feel something. It ain't very big though. Another channel cat. He's a little better than that last one though, isn't he? Not a bad catfish. Put him back in the lake and let him get bigger. Well, when I was taking that one off, another one flipped over. So they're biting okay. Just ain't, percentages ain't that high just yet. I'm hearing some thunder off in the background. I don't know how long I'll get to fish. Nothing on this one. That's looking pretty nasty right there. Well, y'all, them darn storms ran me off the lake yesterday, but I'm back out here after it. I'm in a different area now. I stopped on the way up here and threw that darn casting nets a few more times, and I caught 6 bluegill, I believe, and 1 big shad. So that's real good with my limited abilities. I'm in this big flat up here, it's shallower water. Let's see right here, I don't know if you can see that, it's only 10 foot. I'm actually just going across this flat with the side imaging, kind of looking for some fish. I haven't seen any yet, but right up here is where I mentioned that I'd caught that 66 3/4 pounder on that jug. And then right over yonder on that side, in this part of the flat, it's over there on the other side over there, I caught a 73-pound flathead over there. So I'm gonna try this area first, right out here, and then if I don't catch anything, I may move over on that side. I'm gonna set some out here in this flat right here, and then I'm gonna move over. There's a little ditch over yonder on the edge of them trees. I think I'm gonna move over and put some down through that edge of that thing. See, maybe those flatheads are hanging closer to that brush. There's all kinds of timber in this lake, and this is just actually a clear area where there was an old hay meadow years ago. Well, we're gonna see if it'll hold a few. It looked like I saw some blue cat across there when I was coming down through there, so hopefully we'll be able to get us a couple. I'm gonna put the bluegills on the top hook and the cut shad on the bottom, and we'll see what happens. I gotta stick this biggest bluegill I got on this smallest float. That's a big rascal, ain't it? Man, I already just ate that thing. Woo! Ooh. It's gonna have to be a golly whopper to hit that thing. As soon as I got that little green one out, looked over, and this one done flipped over. Nothing. Bluegill. Ooh, the bluegill's been hit though, buddy. He's got some teeth marks on him. Well, we've got them all scattered out now. Some are down this little ditch, down through here. Got 3 down through that, and then there's 3 more going across this little flat right here. And then the small one, you know, the little green one's way over yonder. This is such a shallow area, I had to go way up there to be able to find a spot where it hit the bottom. Already had 2 bites, no fish yet. Man, this is my kind of fishing. I got one over here. We had 2 of them go down. One of them's way over there, flipped over, and this one here's flipped over, and this one's been going under, kind of bigger fish on it, so I came to this one. I don't know if there's even anything on the other one. There it goes. Look at that, trying to pull that big float. Look at that. Golly, man, that might be a good one there. Let's see what it is. Oh, ooh, we don't want to rip that little hook out of his face if we can help it. Oh yeah, look at here. Yeah, look at here what we got. Yes, sir. Look at that's a big old channel cat right there, buddy. Oh yeah, there we go. We got him now. Look at that. Man, that's a good channel cat right there, man. Nice one. Oh, we'll get him back in the water. That's a good one for the first one. I'm gonna check this one right here. I saw this one flip over a little while ago, but then it just turned back over white. I don't know what's going on with it. I see it looks like it's kind of bobbing a little bit. I feel something on there. The brim's still there. Oh no. Oh, what's it? Look at that thing. Golly. What in the world am I gonna do with that? Dang needle nose gar. Well, you gotta get him in here and try to get him off, I guess. Golly. He's heavy. Look at that thing. Wow, he's mad too. Gee whiz. Well, the bluegill died on that hook that this creature here was on. So I cut him. I'm gonna put him on there, put his head on there, put his body on there, and we'll use him like this. Maybe that'll get him. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. He's pulling that thing under. Look at that. As soon as I ain't even got rid of this ugly thing yet. Look, that's down in the floor. This one, something else got a hold of this. And that's a pretty good float for that thing to be pulling under, man. Here it goes. What is that? He's strong. Strong, I don't know. Feels strange. Look at them bubbles. Oh, Lordy. A big old turtle. Oh no. Big old soft shell turtle. I may have to let him have that hook. Oh my gosh, look at the size of that soft shell turtle. No, I got him in the foot. I can let him go, but golly, look how big he is. Oh my goodness, his neck is a foot long. I don't know if you can see that or not. Wow. Woo, he made some ugly noises too. He's biting that thing. Woo, thank you, Jesus, he got off. I didn't want to have to tackle with that thing. Goodness gracious, he was ugly. And I'm telling you what, that beak on him looked sharp too. Oh man, I hope he don't get back on again. I bet you somebody down in Louisiana won't eat that thing though. What do y'all think? Whew, that had my heart racing, not knowing what I was gonna do with it. I'm gonna check these others, I think. Oh, that one just flipped over out yonder. Right as I'm sitting here talking. I'm just gonna see if they got any bait on them. Oh, I feel fish on this one. I'll be dang. Bluegill still there. Uh-oh, channel cat. Another catfish. He wasn't big enough to turn that thing over, really, I guess. Not a bad little fish, though. Those good eating kind right there. Back in there. Maybe one of y'all can answer this. Why in the world are these bluegill dying? It ain't like I hooked them in the guts or nothing. You can tell fish has had a hold of him. See, the scales are gone right here. But this water was only 8 and 10 foot, you know, and why are they dead? You'd think there'd be plenty of oxygen. I'm gonna cut them up and use them for bait. Yeah, I keep missing fish. What do y'all think? I need to put circle hooks on these things? Maybe that'll work better. No sooner than I checked out when this one flipped over. I'm telling you, I only have 6 of these plus that one up there. And it'll work you to death, man. I mean, you're just going back and forth trying to get these fish off and bait them up. It's fun. I sure wish I had somebody else with me though to help. Let's see what's on this one. I feel him down there. Not a bad channel cat. Not bad at all. Hooked right in the corner of the mouth too, that's good. Come right off. We'll take a mess of them, man. That'd be some fine eating right there. Get back in there. I got 3 of these things flipped over now. I think I'm fixing to roll them up and move to another spot. I don't know, there's something, turtles found me or something. Oh, here's something on this one. Another channel cat. Not a bad one. That's a good one, actually. Hey. They're getting bigger. But I'm gonna move over to another place. I'm gonna wind these up, check these others that are flipped over. And I think I'm gonna move to another spot over here on the other side and see what's going on over there. Get back in there. All right, y'all. I moved locations. I gave it back there. I gave that 2 hours back that way. And you saw what I caught. And man, I just kept, there's so much that you're not even gonna see because that gum, I was getting bites like crazy, but I'm not catching them. I don't know if it's they're too small or they're trash fish or maybe I need to put on circle hooks. I'd like y'all's thoughts about that. Put that down in the comments if you will. But anyway, I moved out here deeper and I'm on the edge of the boat lane and I've got them strung up down through here. It's about 20 feet all down through here on this edge, and I just spaced them out. I don't know, they're probably 100+ yards or something like that, maybe. I'm gonna sit here about an hour and see what happens. As you can see, anybody can catch fish like this if I can. Heck, I don't even know what I'm doing. But it's a good way to find out where they are, really. This particular lake's full of brush. I think I might have mentioned that before. And you can't just drift down through it like you would with open lakes, maybe for blue cat or something. You'll just stay hung up, you lose all your baits. So fishing with something like this, it's stationary, just sitting there in one spot and being able to spread them out up and down and cover a pretty good area is a pretty good way to find out if there's any fish in there. You know, that particular area back over there, I mean, as soon as I got the baits out there, man, they started hitting it. I wasn't even done. I wasn't done baiting the hooks and they started flipping over. So that tells you that there's a lot of fish in the area. And then you could always go back in there with a rod and reel, and hey, I may do that if you'd like to see that. So maybe you guys can give me some tips. What do you think's the best system for doing jug line fishing? I mean, is it the noodle style like that one that I have right here? You know, this one here with this, is it that style that's best? Is it best to fix a regular jug like an old bleach or milk jug or something like that? Is that better? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Oh, we got something. Let's see what it is. Another channel cat. Good eating sized fish right there. Today I'm searching for big catfish in a small muddy creek. The best way to catch big fish is with little fish. I keep catching these darn yellow bass and they're not legal to use here in the state of Texas. You can't use them for bait. They're good eating though when they're bigger. Good size, get your shad. I just caught this in the cast net. Here's one common carp. Here's two. If I was fishing for them, I couldn't catch them. I think we got enough bait to go catfishing now. I think what I'll start out with is I caught some shad, some live shad, and I've got a couple live perch. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit these laydowns down this creek. I may put it out for 15-20 minutes at a time at a spot, and then I'll ease up or down the creek and just anchor up or tie up like I am here and fish these little brush piles and undercut banks. There's been a bunch of big catfish caught around here lately, so hopefully that's what we're gonna find and not just a bunch of turtles. Start out with this big one first right here. Hopefully, if there's a big flathead in there, he'll call him out of that brush. I don't know if I got it close enough to it, but we've got current moving down through here. Plus, he's kicking around, so we'll get the rest of them hooked up. Nothing here. These catfish are not playing very nice with me. You know, we've had about a little over 20 inches of rain in the last couple of weeks here in this area. Uh-oh. And we're getting 2 bites here. And it's been a couple days since the water was up. And I'm not sure if you can see, but it was up over all these vegetation about another 3 or 4 feet. So it's fell the last couple days. Now the current's pretty slow, and they're not being very active for me. I may be too far up in the creek. I don't know if they feel the water going down. But this creek has water in it all the time, so you would think that they live in here. Be up in here trying to spawn, or getting ready to spawn, feeding up for it. Got something messing with this one. It's swimming over here. It's swimming the line right here. Look at that, it's making it go that way. Go off out here. It's about 9 foot in this center of this thing. That and hung, whatever it is. Finally got us a catfish, I think. Channel cat. Oh, be still. Not a bad little fish. We'll take him. Not a bad one. Not a bad catfish. If y'all hear all that squawking over there, there's blue heron nest all in these trees over here, and those babies are hollering when them mamas come to feed them. They sure can make a lot of racket. Got something biting that middle one there. Oh, he's hung, whatever it is. Got it. Oh, we got it. Another channel cat. Oh, there we go. Another good channel cat. Right there. Little meat, fat-headed rascal. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a nice fish right there. Nice channel cat. Let's get him back in there. There you go, buddy. Oh, we tried to get me wet. I'm putting that bait I'm getting a bite on this one. I'm just putting it right here close to the boat. There's a big log laying down right there in the water. And just setting that bait right in front of it, and both fish have caught off the same rod right there, not 10 feet away from the boat. It's always amazing to me how catfish will do like that. They'll bite, and you'll have one rod that seems like gets most of the bites, or maybe catches most of the fish. The other ones may get bites, but one particular rod in one particular spot seems like gets the most fish, which is nuts in an area like this. This is, uh-oh, we got one on the bluegill here. We got it, whatever it is. Oh, we don't. He got loose. Dadgummit. Golly, look, he tangled all up in that bush. Look at that. Dang. That is the last bluegill I had too. Well, we got the mess out, and now we're back fishing. We got a shad on there. From here on out, it's all just cut shad. Everything's dead now that I have. Here we go. There he goes. He's hung. Oh, he's hung. Smaller channel cat. Took the last live bait I had. He's gonna be upside down. He don't want to hold. He don't want to open that fin up where I can grab him. Not a bad catfish. Not a bad channel cat. These are good eating right here. This size. Get back in there, boy. I think what I'm gonna start doing with these other shad is hooking them through the nose, even though they're dead. We've got a little bit of current, so they may think they're alive. What I'll do here is I'm just going to go through the eyes on this one like that. Maybe he'll dance around like that right there and look alive in that water with that little bit of current. I guess that's all the bites right here. Well, I can't go any further because of this tree, so I guess I'll head back down that way and see if I can't find another log jam to get around, and maybe there'll be a flathead in there. Well, we're in spot number 3. Let's see what we can do here. Show you what I got here real fast. I got the weight on the bottom, loop knot tied right there. Tied me a little leader. This one has a 10-aught, I think it's a 10-aught circle hook, mustad circle hook. Got it snelled on there. So that's basically how. I think I got another one that's just like 2 others, maybe like a little short Carolina rig, but this here keeps that bait up off the bottom, and it'll drift back like that in this current, and it'll make that shad look like it's alive. Give it a little bit of action anyway. There he goes, get it. He ain't big enough to get it, I don't think. He got it that time. Look at that one. Not bad. He sure was pecking like a little guy. Not a bad fish. Not bad channel cat. Nice catfish in this little creek, aren't there? Let's get back in there. Fish may be on this one. Yep. Look at that, he barely hung too. By the skin, look at that. He's fixing to fall. He's got a lot of little speckles on him, doesn't he? Look at that. Nice speckles on that one, don't he? Good eater size. He's hung up now. He barely got it too. We got him. We got 2 bites. We got this one. Oh, he got it. He's got it. That's a good one there. That's a nice one right there, man. There we go. Whew. It got me wet. That's the biggest one of the day so far right there. Of the evening. That's a good fish. Look how fat his belly is. He got a fat belly on him, doesn't he? Alright, let's get him back in there. There you go, buddy.
slimy. Oh no, broke my rod holder. Golly, look at that. Broke it. Dang. Sunshine got a hold of it, I guess. I got that one. I got him. I can't get it out of the rod holder. Here we go. That was a pretty decent one. There he goes. Quick release. Well, y'all, the mighty flathead eluded me once again, but I still had a great time fishing this old creek. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a comment and check this next one out. There he goes. 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 Yeah, we'll try it right here first. Get it set up. The water's pretty clear right in here. I really would like to be on the edge of those weeds over there, I think. Get our anchor set up first. Right now. All right, y'all, hopefully I'm fixing to show you an easy way to catch a lot of fish. Here's what I'm going to use today. I've got a B&M Black Widow rod. This is an extendable rod. It's only about 4 foot, like this right here. It's got a little stopper in there right there. Your line is wrapped up around this little keeper right here. And this rod extends out to 13 feet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish the edge of these weeds out here and hopefully catch some nice fish. You can pick these things up right here for like, I think they're right at $30, something like that. And man, I'm telling you, you can fold them up and put them in your car, in your truck. And you going down the road and see a fishing hole, man, you got your rod and you got your stuff and you can get out and get fishing. So it's very simple and it's a lot of fun. So I love doing it. I've got 17-pound line on this rod and it's tied to the very end of it out there. And I've got me a bobber stopper, a rubber bobber stopper. I hope you can see that right there on the line. And I've got a slip cord, okay? Got a little split shot right there just to kind of weight the bait down some. And I've got me a treble hook right there. It's a number 6. And we're gonna see if we can't catch some catfish with it. And one of the first things I'm gonna do is I wanna try to set this depth correctly on my bobber here. So I'll set it out there. Oh boy, I see some big old carp. I'm gonna set it out there and I'm gonna pull it up and adjust this stopper until it gets on the bottom. Set it out there. Let's see what happens here. I want it to be on the bottom, and then I'm going to raise that stopper down just a little bit. I'm going to pull it down, not raise it, until it lifts that float up off the bottom. It's pretty close right there, I think. Now what I got here is some Gary's big cat cheese. And let me tell you, oh goodness, the aroma coming off of that, I tell you what, is something special. I'm gonna take this stick right here, I'm gonna push it down in this stuff, and I'm gonna kind of dab it around there on that so that it stays in that hook. I'm gonna pull it up, and it's got just enough bait on there to really add a bunch of stink to the water out there. Let's see here what we can, if we can find us one. Not sure how long it'll take. We'll give it a little bit and see if we can get some bites. If we can't, we'll move to another place. I think I got it a little too deep. That wind kind of shifted around and got us off of those weeds. I kind of want to be right on the edge of them, really. This time of year, which is the spring, here on this lake, those catfish will start feeding on vegetation. When you clean them, they'll have a lot of vegetation inside of them. And my theory is that they know when those little freshwater shrimps and little worms and things like that get in those weeds, because they will flat be eating that stuff. And I think they must absorb the protein from the little shrimp and the little worms and things like that. They must absorb it through their body, and then they just pass the grass. But every spring you'll catch them, they'll have a bunch of grass inside of them. If it's a grassy lake like this one typically is, it usually has some shoreline vegetation. That wind should drift that scent, help with some current and drift that scent down them weeds right there, and hopefully it's going to bring some fish in. Being that it's blowing out of the north, you never know. It's not what I would choose to fish for sure, but you go when you can, right? I make this bait here myself. It's just a dip bait, a cheese bait. I tell you what, it works some kind of good, and it makes catfishing easy. You can catch a mess of fish in just no time, and you don't have to be in the boat like I am. You can walk down the bank. I don't recommend casting the stuff, to be honest with you, because it'll sling off. Well, if you use a long rod like this, say you were walking along the bank right over there, you could just dab this thing along the edges and catch all you want, especially this time of year. I used to fish like this with chicken blood when I was a kid. Except for I didn't use a rod like this. I had a regular old cane pole that I cut out of the woods. And I caught many a catfish with that thing. If you'd like to see a video on how I did it, just leave a comment down in the comment section, and I'll see about doing it. Show you how I cut the pole, picked the pole, what it looks like before and after, all that kind of good stuff. Uh-oh, one got it. He's messing with it. He's got it. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Look at that. Man, I tell you what, they're eating it. Golly, they're eating it quick. Now let's get him back in there. Don't take long to have a mess of them that stink the skillet up. Not having to wait too much today. I got a secret on how to make a spot like this a whole lot better. And it ain't really a secret, it's just something that I do, I guess. But we'll have to share that in another video maybe. I didn't have time to do it today. I just came out here and picked a spot. Something that looked good, and years past it's worked out pretty good, so we doing pretty good so far. We got 2 fish in about 10 minutes. That beats a sharp sticking knife for sure. Oh, look at here. That didn't even get down. It didn't even get down good. Hey, that's a better one there. Look at him. See, you see that belly? That belly's full on that fish. And look at here. You can kind of tell, maybe, you can kind of tell that there's some grass coming out of the bottom of him right there. And I almost bet you, I can feel it. That belly's full of them weeds. Not a bad little catfish. Good eating size, man. I'm telling you, they're starting to bite fast now. This bait's so good, in my opinion. When they hit it, it knocks that bait off. And when it knocks that bait off, it just disperses it in the water. So the scent, especially like now, there's a little bit of breeze blowing down these weeds, that scent off of that bait can drift down through there. And I feel like that's one of the keys that makes that bait so good. Now I know this may sound hard to believe, and you may think I'm just pulling your leg, but I've had customers, I don't care if I got 2 or 3 or 4, however many, they catch their limit doing this in just a couple hours a piece, each one of them. So we catch 75, 50, 100, however many people go, because it's fast action. Especially if you got a little bit of weeds like this and you got a little bit of breeze blowing down the bank, you can make some short work of it. Nobody should ever go hungry, that's for sure. That's a little guy there. Hey, be still. You don't want to be still. We'll get hold of him with this. We'll get him back in there. I mean, we're catching them fast. And it gets better and better the more and more scent that you get out in there of that bait. It gets better and better. I mean, I'll have it to where it's as soon as you can get a cork down in there, especially if you got 3 or 4 people fishing in the same little spot, as soon as it gets in there, it's gone, because it just brings in schools of those catfish. One hit it, he laid it over. Look, you see how fast he can take that thing down? Open your mouth, boy. This is some fast action right here. It's the middle of the day. Let me see what time it is. 2:01. And they'll bite mornings, evenings, midday. It don't matter. There he is. Oh, I missed that one. Oh, I wish you could see in the water the cloud of all that cheese that come off right there. And then it would give you a good idea of what I was talking about when you miss one and it just, or you catch one and it all goes scattering about through the water. And that really helps bring them in right there, because all it is scent. There's nothing for them to eat. They just got the scent, so they keep looking. Set it on back there. It's really fun with this limber rod too, because man, they can really pull on this thing. And you got them on a short leash, just with that 13-foot line out, 13-foot rod. There he goes, look at there. Oh, we got it off. Oh, shoot. Caught me counting my change. Gotta be a big one out there somewhere. There he goes. Oh, he come down. Man, what's going on here? Let's see. Come on now, big girl. There he goes. Look at that. As soon as it hit, look at there. That's what I was talking about. That's one of them better ones. There he comes. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come here, you. There we go. Look at this, how fat the belly is on this one. He's full of that grass I was telling you about. Look at that. Plumb full of it. That's a nice one right there. Nice channel cat right there, buddy. Let's get him back in there. And I've caught them up to 10 or 15 pounds on this thing too. On this rod and on that cheese. So it ain't just for the little ones, but it'll, if you're in a bind and you hungry, that's the way to go right there. There he goes, 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 there he goes. That's a good one right there. There we go. That's a good one right there. See, they're getting bigger the longer we stay here. Hey, quit all that twisting. Not a bad little fish. Getting back in the lake. Move, just for giggles, to show y'all that it works all over and that I didn't just have a spot ready. As you can see, that's some pretty fast action, but I'm gonna go to another spot just to show you that it works in other places of the lake and it's not just one particular area. One thing to remember is the wind is your friend in this fishing, this type of fishing. And so I see some wind blowing over here on this side. I mean, you can look right here right now and it's kind of slick out this way. But if you look back over there, you might be able to see some ripples where the wind's blowing down that bank. It's just a little bit, but that's plenty to make that scent travel down that bank and bring them old catfish in. So we're gonna get over there and see if we can't catch a few more. Oh yeah, this looks fishy here. You can see them weeds coming off this little point right over here. Yeah, I like it. It's even got a little mud line coming off of it from where the wind was blowing over. I don't know if you can see that yet. Uh-oh, I don't want to get too close. Right, let's see if we can't catch us some in here. Yeah, I bet you this is going to be good. Don't have enough, don't have like the wind I like, but it does have a little bit kind of blowing into the back of this pocket right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get over here on the upwind side. I'm going to get it right in here and position my boat where I can float that bait right here at the edge of these weeds, right here on the edge of this point. See if we got some catfish maybe working their way up through here, kind of coming into this mud line going out across here. The first place I was going to, around the corner yonder, dang, it was 3 boats on it. I don't guess anybody works on Mondays no more. Them dang power poles would be nice if I had some of them to put out. Whoa. It sure would help. Let's see how long it takes to get a bite in here. Let's see. It's 2:36. I'll put it down a little deeper maybe. I didn't check my depth like a dummy when I got here. Well, we had to have a battery change, so doggone it, my count's going to be messed up. I didn't want to have my bait in the water and the clock running and the camera not on. There he goes. There he goes. There he is. Okay. Let's look. Hurry. Hurry. 241. It was 236 when I dropped it in. 241 when we got us a fish, and I had my battery go down, had to change that and took it out of the water. That's how good this stuff works. And look at here. If you can see, that's the vegetation I was telling you about right there. Good eating size fish right there. Let's get it back. As fun as this is, I love trying to catch big ones. And I love running jug lines and trot lines and things like that. And I think I'm going to do some jug line fishing here pretty soon. If you are interested in anything like that, comment below. And I'll see if I can't make that happen pretty soon, because I done got my little so-called jugs ready. They're pretty interesting. I'd like for you to see what they are. Look at him, golly, shoot, I can't even get through talking. Dadgummit. Oh, he come off. All right, before we was rudely interrupted by that fish, they're not jugs, they're cylinder, circles, / flat something or another like that, and they're really cool. I've had them about 20 years, and I tell you what, they work well, and it's very fun. If it's a workout if they're biting good, because man, they get all over them. But if you'd like to see something like that, just comment below and I'll definitely make that happen soon. Well, y'all, I caught those two there real quick. I know you don't want to see me catch 100 of them, so I guess I'll move on. But I hope you got some benefit out of this video. That cheese bait is hard to beat. I mean, I've had customers using shad right beside the cheese, and the cheese outfished the shad. I mean, it's unbelievable. I hope you can use these tips to help you catch more fish. I'm gonna head to the house. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining me.